Hi everyone. So this week we have the new Crusade boss, which is Envy. So let's go over her abilities and skills. So first off, she has 100% mobility, so she's a dodge boss. So any anti-dodge unit will be good for this. Bolina is also usable, but you have to use a slightly different team. Now the main thing to look out for is her EX skills. So when she's below 40%, she will do a charm on all of your DPS units, and then all your support types will get stunned, right? So you can mitigate this by just letting your supports get stunned. Like have 5 units, because it lasts 5 turns, right? So as long as you can wait it out, and then like they won't be charmed anymore. So as long as there's a few support units before your primary DPS, they can get stunned, and then your DPS can move and do their attack. And then also at the same time as like when she does that, she'll also do fixed damage based off her attack, right? And that will hit everyone. So you want a bit of HP on everyone if they're low level, but as long as you have them leveled up, like 6-starred, level 90-ish, like around there, you shouldn't have any issues. My units are leveled, but they don't have any like HP cores, and they're living just fine. But if your units are dying, then put some HP cores on them. Even just like spare blue ones that you don't need heavily invested ones. So now let's go over the team. There are going to be a couple of teams that I'll show. I've designed these teams to be as easily accessible as possible, so that people should be able to copy it, right? But I will talk about some replacements, right? For some units. One unit that is probably not replaceable in this setup is Farnese. You could maybe try a Nastya that has max HP. That might work. I have tried it with Lina healing, but that was also a max rank Lina, so I'm not sure if it's usable with Mizo, but it's possible. Like any tank could be in the spot if you want, and you can try it, right? As long as you're targeting it with Mizo with the heal, I think they should survive. But Farnese is like the most reliable and safest one, right? And you should be focusing on skilling her up anyway, because she's so useful for everything anyway. But yeah, worst case scenario, just use any tank that has a taunt and has high HP, right? And then yeah, of course Mizo's targeting her, right? So she's fairly easy accessible, and you probably should have targeted, like went for her on your customized banner early on when you're pulling for Morgan and Farnese anyway. So I think most people should have her. And then we have Fleur here. Now, if you're using Fleur, she has to have her Overlimit. If you don't have her Overlimit, then you have to use a different buffer for the damage, right? Like something like rank 5 Lina, or Avedi. Sorry, this is Avedi, Zhao Wu, something like that, right? Additionally, if you have a level 70 awakened Transcendent Ilya, you can also throw her in as like a bonus, like extra damage, even just at like slot 8 or 9. That's fine. You could do that too, but I didn't include her just because not everyone would have her, or maybe not everyone has the resources to invest into her as well, because she's quite expensive to awaken. Then of course we have Franca, right? Pretty standard unit for raids. You should have it already. Same for Tina, the two most used buffers for your DPS. Then we have Momoka. So actually I need to swap Momoka like this. Also Tina like that. So Momoka is here because since the boss does fixed damage, and Tina also does like half your health when she buffs, you want to have some sort of continuous heal on your DPS to make sure they don't die, especially when your supporters get stunned, and then like if they don't heal your DPS up, then you're at risk of Tina just killing your DPS. So you want to have something to heal them back up during during the other turns. So obviously the other alternative is Lina, but Momoka is the budget version, right? If you have Lina, she's much better to use. You have to change her position a little bit to compensate for her targeting, but it is doable if you play around with it a little bit. Now for the DPS, I've got Precio in here, but you can also use any of the anti-dodge units. So there's also Valentine Charlissa, Lily, if you got her from very early on. She is a limited unit though, so I think most people won't have her. And Cynthia, I haven't tested I like Cynthia or Lilith, Lily, because I don't have enough skill ups for them. But they do have anti-mobility skills, so that they are a possibility. But I cannot confirm whether they're good or not. But Precio and Charlissa can both do it, at least. So in this setup, you could use either of those. So you want your unit to taunt first. If you're using an auto-taunt like Nastya, then you don't need to have your tank going first. You could make them move last if you want to. Just play around with what you have, right? So let's start the battle, and I won't show you the whole thing. So I'll probably skip at some point, but you can see like how the units move, right? So we have the buff from Mizo, then Farnese taunts. So just keep in mind the attack pattern is like a star-shaped, sort of a star-shaped, I guess. Actually, no, it's more of a cross shape actually. They've got the usual buffs right onto your DPS, and then she'll do some damage. Keep in mind this is only a rank 4 Precio, so if you have a rank 10, she'll do a lot more. I don't know how much more, of course, but if you are investing into one DPS unit and you choose to be Precio, then she should be fairly decent for this. I would recommend Charlissa instead. I seem to have the most success with her when I was testing, when they were roughly around the same skill ranks. But I don't know how to. I can't compare them at rank 10 for both of them. So yeah. So this will be a bit of a rinse and repeat. Eventually she'll do the charm stuff, and but you can tank for it. So I'm gonna skip so that I can show you the next team. But I'll show you the end screen, of course, so you know it can be done, right? So you get the kill score here, so that confirms that it was done. And it was a fairly high score, 1.53 mil, I think, if I saw that correctly. So we'll go in again. Alright, so I have another team, and this time we're going to use Bolina. Now Bolina, if you're going to use her, you have to use a very different turn order. So for Bolina, she has to move. She has to be the first to move, right? So you have to have all the DPS buff her first. Otherwise, if she moves after your tanks, she will do basically no damage, right? So this also means that you have to have an auto-taunt to make this work. So obviously the easiest one to use is Gin. Now my Gin's only level 1, but it is fine, because you only need her to auto-taunt on the first round, and after that, she's kind of a waste, like a bit of a waste of space anyway, so you can just let her die. So you don't even need to have gear on your Gin. It's probably even better to remove all your cores on her, and just run her, just let her like eat the first couple of hits or whatever, and then Farnese by then will have a taunt up after that, right? Your Farnese needs to move last in your turn order. No matter how many units you have, she has to move. She should move last, and that way there's enough like she will be able to taunt when the boss moves after Bolina, right? Because Bolina is going to get buffed by a lot of units. So there's 5 turns here. So on the 6th turn, she'll still have to taunt up. Now, if you have more supports than this, then your Farnese would need to be ranked 7. I think you might have to move. Worst case scenario, you might have to take out one of your supports here, because mine's rank 7, but I didn't actually test on rank 5. I think rank 5 it should barely work, but obviously rank 7 is safer for the 9 turns. But try it out if you have a rank 5. Worst case, then try to like alter the turn order a little bit so that Bolina moves at turn 4 instead. But I think it should be fine at this. Now it's mostly the same as before. It's just that obviously the orders are flipped, right? So that Bolina moves first. So I'll just show the first couple of rounds, just so show what happens. So obviously, like Gin is taunting at the moment, so you do all your buffs. Same thing here. We're using Momoka to get the continuous heal on Bolina. And then she'll chunk some damage. Keep in mind, mine's rank 10, so if you're using a rank 4 Bolina, it won't do as much damage. But you probably should be able to still clear it, it just take a bit longer. Now you see the Gingo one shot, which is perfectly fine. Mizo is targeting the Farnese, so she'll heal her back up and give her some damage reduction. And then from there, it's pretty much the same as the previous team. You just like set it up in such a way that Farnese will like be able to taunt the boss, right? Even though she's not technically auto-taunting, right? So I'm going to skip here to show you that it can be done. Right. So now, as I said, the worst case, if you can't do this, or you can't copy the team, or you don't have Fleur Overlimit, that sort of thing, then just drop it down to insane difficulty, right? Worst case, just do expert. Expert will be way easier, and you'll get all the rewards as long as you've done it every day on expert plus. Same for, obviously for insane. Even if you skip a couple of days, you'll finish it on insane for sure. So yeah, as long as you can clear it on one of these difficulties, you'll get all of the rewards. Alright, so that's it for me for this video. I am going to do like another max damage video eventually, but it's probably going to come out like probably towards the end of the event, probably even after the event ends, because it's going to take me some time to test out a lot of stuff. There's a lot of combinations to try out, so I've done a lot already, but there's still some ideas to try. And you can see I screwed up one of my attacks, so I should have gotten higher, but yeah, there's still more to test out. And yeah, I'm trying to go for rank 1 anyway, so yeah, we'll see how we go. But anyway, this video was hopefully it helps you at least get into like the top. Like as long as you can clear insane, you'll be fairly high up. Like you should be able to get top 100. There's actually a lot less players like around these days, so I think it won't be too hard to get top 100. Like the lowest clears are like these, look like they're like second lowest difficulty, I think, around there. Yeah, so as long as you can clear expert, you'll probably get top 100 for sure. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you when I finish the next damage video. Good luck with your Crusade, and have a good one. Bye bye.